Welcome back. Good morning. It's Niijii here.
In urbanamp.
This is January 10th, 2018. Just wanted to touch base with you guys again. It's just, so the weather last night, we described, it was much calmer than the past 2 days, but it's like back to the normal agenda. They're back out, skywriting.
They're playing tic-tac-toe in the sky.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like the last few days, it's been pretty, cloudy, overcast. It was almost storm-like, like a couple days ago, and it's been raining off and on like the entire time, like 48 hours. But at some point last night, it just cleared, and it was like just clear sky. You can see all the stars, or whatever the hell they are, wandering. And then I thought to myself, okay, well, I guess tomorrow will be back to a regular sunny day or whatever. That's good, because it's starting to get really muddy in the yard. Okay. I got to build the kids' new playground and stuff. So anyway, this morning I get out and I look up like usual. The first thing I do is I look up and do a quick scan, and see where are they spraying now, what kind of, and it was, I swear, it was like I look up and it's like 4 simultaneously, right? Spraying lines in like different parts of the sky. I was like, what the heck, man? They're just they're like, okay, we're back on agenda.
Yeah, back on it.
Back to the new normal. I thought that was funny. Sounds like you had the exact same.
I had the exact same thing. Yeah, coming in, it was just. It was like I said, it was just coming in. It was like clear, nice. I really enjoyed the day. It wasn't cold or anything. Like it hasn't really been like it's supposed to be winter. Like we're almost in the middle of winter, and doesn't feel like it still. Like so.
Maybe the last few days, maybe, but yeah.
A storm in. It's not enough, especially with those. Just gotta look into those wildfires and the mudslides out up north.
I've been wondering about that. I feel like oblivious to the effects of all this stuff. With the fires recently, I can see smoke all around, but I didn't see any fire. I didn't experience any of that stuff at all. And same with the storm. Like supposedly the storm was really big. Just northwest of here, right?
Yes. No, yeah.
But like we didn't really get that. We didn't get any, crazy downpour. We just got rain. We got rain. We got some wicked-looking clouds, but that was it. It's weird. It's just some crazy things happening to people fairly close to us, not even very far removed, right?
Yeah, no.
Some of our coworkers can experience this. It's just strange that I try to be, I guess, prepared. I'd like to call myself like a prepper, I guess, even though I'm really not as prepared as I'd like to be. But probably more than a lot of people that I meet every day. But I try to imagine how for a lot of these people, probably after with the fallout of the fires and now with all this flooding, shit's kind of hit the fan already for them, right?
Yeah. 2018 is already
crazy. It's like we was talking about when they follow through with the plan and the big event happens and it's like New World Order, hello, but what if it's not some big singular
I don't think it's going to be a big
if it's just
hammer,
like a series of the
hammer
big
drop.
Hammer,
It's not
just lots
of
little hammers all across, kind of peppering the nation.
Correct.
Softening us up, tenderizing the nation. Until it's like, oh wait, shit kind of hit the fan. Y'all didn't notice. We're all too busy in our smartphones.
Yeah.
And then it hits your neighborhood.
Correct.
But no one, but the neighborhood just a few miles away has no idea. Like we're out here. It's a regular day. It's a regular day at work. Let's go on and work for the man again. And I have no. It affects me none at all. Like that. Just a few months ago, what was it, thousands of homes burned down? That had nothing to do with me, and I could see the smoke all around us.
Yeah.
It's Shit hit the fan. It's just not us yet. That's all. And, anyway, I also wanted to say, last night, remember how I mentioned those ground-based vapor generators that, like, or I guess are hypothetical ones. That you know how there's that one I was saying is like northwest of my house that you can see sometimes, and I think it's like an oil refinery or something, or a gasoline refinery. And remember I was saying how usually you'll see these like little puffs of smoke, or I guess cloud vapor or something like that, and they'll be persistent, and they'll just kind of float on by slowly, really low lying, similar to what I was saying. I like we kept seeing the last few days, right? Like over the Los Angeles skyline. But usually, I'll see a few clouds and they kind of pepper. Not pepper. I just like that word this morning. There'll just be like a few clouds that kind of leave a trail across the sky. It's nothing crazy, But last night, remember, and I was saying I'm like eager to go check it out. Last night because I want to see how it's doing. Like, what if it's been working out overtime lately? Just to make more of this cloud cover that is now gone. But so last night, it was crazy. It was like I got home and actually I was like a few blocks away still, and I look over in the general direction and I see this gigantic like upside down triangle of thick white cotton candy stuff, emanating from that kind of from the points where that place is, So then I park at my house and get out, and I get to like the high point and look over, and it's coming exactly where it always comes from. But this time it's not like one or two little clouds; it's like this gigantic,
okay,
like this like upside down pyramid of thick clouds. It's making clouds, making clouds, and then you can see that it goes up and it kind of travels sort of easterly, and then kind of merges with the existing cloud. I was like, dude, they're making this huge cloud cover right now. I think what's interesting is that I finally noticed that ground-based thing are, truly behaving like a ground-based vapor generator, like, behaving like a ground-based cloud generator, right? I finally witnessed it, and then like hours later, the sky was totally clear. Like I got up maybe at 12:30 or so, took a look outside, and it was totally clear. And now we look at the sky totally clear, right? But the last few days, I wish I'd looked like last week or something, or before the storm came in and was projected to see if it had been doing something.
Correct. And I wanted to also ask you, have you noticed it when it's not a storm coming, or just when it's cold enough, just to make sure that it's not connected to the storm, like it's separate, like when it's just a cold day, and it's just making it because it's just naturally cold. And
no, you're okay. See, so that's a good point. Like, what if this idea, this ground-based thing, what if it's not the cause of the clouds, of the cloud cover? What if it's sort of an effect, right? Like is that what you're asking? Right? Because if I notice if it happens more when it's already stormy, then it's almost like, well, what if the weather conditions, that low pressure cold front coming in makes these machines or refineries or whatever, this process happen to like leave more persistent vapor in the sky, right? Like as an effect. Right? Correct. And no, I haven't paid enough attention to say yes or no about these things, about these patterns.
But it hasn't been cold enough either, too, though. To really, it hasn't been one of those cold days to really.
We haven't had a good storm in a while, also. Like my level of awokeicity or whatever has been sort of exponential. Like the curve is exponential. Like I get more and more. So just a few months ago, I wasn't this level of awoke. Like I was still not really paying enough attention. Correct. And I'm sure next month I'll be paying even more attention. But so hopefully I'll be able to report back with a better. But also like I should say that even though I'm not paying enough attention to give you like a precise answer, I have been paying casual attention to its activity. Like every time I go back and forth, outside, in the backyard and stuff, or in the front yard, I'll like I'll glance.
A glance, yeah,
and
right,
and I'll take sort of a mental snapshot.
Okay.
And if it's significant, that's when I'll be like, oh shoot. And then if it's, what the hell is that?
Yep, you got stung. You got
For
stung
real?
by a bee. Yeah, that stinger was in. You got stung.
I just got stung by a fucking bee. Holy shit! I've never gotten stung before.
Okay, so
I don't know if I'm allergic. So I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, his stinger was in there.
Okay. That's interesting. So I just got stung by a bee. Let's keep going.
Okay.
If I start to flare up and stop breathing, let's go get an EpiPen.
Yeah,
okay?
let's see what time it is right now. Let's just check what time it is. Just to okay.
54.
Okay.
All right. Well, we got a couple minutes, then we'll go in.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt yet.
It doesn't hurt you? Okay.
I don't know if it should, because I've never been stung before. I see blood, so
yeah,
it did penetrate.
It did, yeah.
What the fuck was it? Maybe I'm talking too much. Motherfucker's trying to take me out. Well, I hope this isn't my last sign-off.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I have noticed the thing has been making little clouds all the time for the last few years that I've been looking up at it. So, what the fuck? Was I not supposed to?
All right. It's a little later in the evening. Urbanamp is okay. You know, so I say it's okay. So
here,
you made it.
My ear's large. It's like a melon on my head, side of my head. I'm going way over. No, it looks fine. Nothing happened. I know. I got bit by a bee, and I never got bit. Sorry, that sounds stupid. Stung. I've never been stung before, so
no, you're
little
right.
bit. What's that?
No, you're right. Yeah, no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was a little bit concerned. Maybe.
I mean, I'll say you were right because you never got bit by a bee because.
Yeah. That's
you
it.
That's
bite,
right.
So
you were correct.
Oh man. We're just up here brilliantly.
Just
discussing. Man, Anyway, so I'm gonna use more intelligent sounding words for a few minutes just to make up for that.
Okay. That works.
So.
I'm still gonna stay down, but well, one of us gotta be intelligent. So I'll stay under the radar.
So I think clearly what happened earlier was that I was revealing far too much truth, so they sent a mechanical bee to take me out. But no.
Well, about what we were discussing, last night, and then I showed you a video from the House of Commons about the story about the Africans, kind of
that
from
really
that.
Good. Yeah,
that was kind of eye-opening, right? But
is that the channel name, just in case?
Oh yeah, it's
gonna give a shout out.
The House of Commons, a bunch of gentlemen that speak on different topics, so I was saying last night about the heritage that people from Africa get is different from people in the U.S.
Hold on, Rob. They know that you're talking truth about the melanated people, so they want to disrupt that truth. Hold up. It's the white. That's the white universe trying to get you.
It's
that wasn't very tasteful. Sorry about that. Come on, bro.
Is that much?
I mean, really?
Yeah, we know there's crime here. Jeez. Yeah. But so just their take on it was very interesting that they've never learned about it.
Yeah.
So they kind of confirmed.
He's from which country?
Nigeria.
On the western, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Nigeria, which is right. That's on the northwest coast of Africa, right?
Yeah.
And so I guess for some background, and Philip, if you clarify for me if I say it wrong, because I don't actually know this all that well, but I think that that's significant, his location, because supposedly the slave trade, with involving the Americas and Europe in the 19th century, or I guess 18th and 19th century, involved the tribes on the northwestern coast of Africa. And seriously, they're trying to how many are we gonna be disturbed all freaking day, dude?
It's rooftop ramble, man. This is crazy.
Let's a rooftop ramble. You know what? Whatever.
All right,
that's what happens.
Yeah, so
he ain't stopping us.
That whole.
So the man that spoke is from Nigeria, and he's explaining how in his past and his schooling, and that they never talked, like they were completely unaware of this thing that happened to the American so-called African Americans.
Correct.
And so it's very interesting, right? Because if it's happening to, supposedly it happened to their people.
Yes, correct. Right? Yeah. So
why aren't they being told about this?
Yes.
Yet over, and his point was that over in the States, it's the opposite. Like they're being indoctrinated with this knowledge, like Civil War, Confederacy,
correct, Civil rights, Jim Crow,
North and the South, Jim Crow, Civil rights. It's like, and he made a comment. It was like they're being reminded constantly of how much they are hated.
Correct. So. That's a very good talk that they had. It's about a 33-minute talk or so, but it's very enlightening. That the story that's being told here, it doesn't match. The story. The origin.
The story being told there and the story being told here. They don't align.
They don't align.
But supposedly it happened to both peoples.
Correct.
Right? So shouldn't the story be the same?
Should be the same.
It should
be the same.
And
why omit part of that history? If it happened, it happened, right? I said previously, maybe.
It's really simple.
If it happened, it happened. Just do,
but then also it's I think it's also telling, right? That
it's telling. That's telling. Yeah.
So over here, we're all okay. I guess it's some more preface, right, to it is that I think I believe, and I think there's a lot to support this belief, is that essentially public school or public education, the system is built to indoctrinate youth to grow up into the kind of U.S. citizen that will interact with the system in place in such a way that everything works smoothly, right? It's like I think the public education system here is meant to groom young people into being like the good citizen, not to question what's going on, and so they'll be filled with the facts that align with the system's goals, with the system's with the agenda. They're gonna play ball. It's like how in the Matrix, remember, it was like if you're not unplugged, then you're like potentially an agent, right? So I think that's what they're doing, is they're trying to build up a society of people who could all potentially be agents. So anyway, sorry. So I think that I think it's very telling that in the U.S. school system it is taught that the history of the Civil War and of what occurred to the African Americans, all of the atrocities that were levied against those peoples, and just civil rights movement and all these things over the decades, the fact that it's being taught is very interesting, right? Because wouldn't they it almost would benefit, or you'd think it would benefit the powers that be to omit that part, just like they omit a lot of stuff. They omit all kinds of stuff. I mean, just in this particular topic, they have omitted that African American peoples aren't even really African Americans. They're really the Native Americans, or whatever, which is kind of difficult. I don't know how we're trying to figure out the terminology. They were already there.
They're already there, correct.
So that's been omitted, right? So why omit that, but then teach Civil War, teach slavery?
Correct.
Why? That's interesting. There's something. I think that's also very telling of the intent.
It's intent, because if you're a people who don't know your true history, you can never prosper. You can never grow. especially if you're always taught of where you come from is slavery, but yet you have no home country per se to set roots in,
okay, like how can you be sort of nationalistic or
right?
You have to okay,
right. So, but you're almost like a nomadic people with no.
What's interesting in that though is that a negative or a is that like an impediment or maybe a benefit? Because like we're just talking. These last couple of days, we've kind of been bringing this up over and over, and this sort of idea of like borders. They're just like these invisible lines on like who and they change all the time. It's very fluid. It's not, just 20 years ago,
correct.
Europe looked entirely different. Or maybe
Europe, Spain.
It's just like this is and then that's sort of true for every generation almost, right? The map looks different every generation. So what does a border mean anyway? What is like a nation really? What is a nationalism? Like why would you? Do we need to have an attachment to a place? I guess maybe like a better question: is it actually good? Is it a benefit to have an attachment to a place, or is it maybe a negative? And maybe is it almost advantageous? Like I would say inadvertently advantageous, because I don't think that the powers that be would choose with intent to give an advantage to those peoples that we're talking about, the Native, the American, African descent peoples. But maybe it's an inadvertent advantage that they don't have an attachment to a place because of this indoctrination. Maybe they're free maybe to be without nationalism, which can be blinding, which we're arguing earlier is like, hey, I'm the person in charge and you're someone else in charge. I'm of this country, you're of that country. Okay, well, we're gonna fight. Okay, so I'm gonna send thousands of my people over to shoot your people. But first, here's some guns, give me some money. Okay, and then we're gonna exchange monies and guns, and then send people to go kill each other while we sit there and get fat. It's like that's that whole thing that doesn't benefit anyone who's actually fighting for the nations, for the to uphold the borders. That doesn't benefit them at all. So if you don't have national pride, if you don't have that sense of patriotism for your nation and stuff, then maybe that's a benefit. Maybe that's like, well, you're not going to get caught up in all that BS.
It's good.
I literally am rambling right now.
Yeah.
So this is
maybe I have not thought about it on that side, which is very good. It's very
cool. Okay. Are you having an epiphany?
Epiphany? That's.
I just wanted to.
Oh.
I'm trying to sound smart here.
Yeah. I think it's borderline. I mean, it's.
So, I mean, okay. That was my little ramble, right? But I mean, I'm not saying that I necessarily, whether or not it is advantageous or not. What we were talking about really was that there is a population in the U.S. that is raised to think that that their generations prior were once enslaved by the very people that they interact with every day, by the people that run all the systems that control them, right?
Yes.
I mean that must feel bad. That must be a bad feeling, right? To live in a society where that like the system in place at one point treated me like property.
Correct.
Whereas over in West Africa, in this Nigeria, they don't even get taught that part of history. There's no discussion of, oh well, in generations prior, my people were abducted.
Correct.
And put on boats and squished into these
arcs, thousands of people in little cramped spaces, and put off on a boat for months to voyage across the Atlantic in order to be sold as property. That's not discussed there. No. So that conflict of conflict is I think a very big deal, and this gets into again how you were just telling me it's like your ancestors, right? Like, or your like your great they were I guess disincentivized or something to talk about the nature of their true heritage. Right?
Yes, true. Yeah.
This all to me just sounds like there really was an active attempt to hide the real history of the African people, as well as those who were native to the Americas when the Western world arrived, or who's the Western world? When Western Europe arrived, when the European world arrived, it's like
I would say that,
and like there was an attempt, I think, to hide that truth that there were already peoples there that they enslaved.
I'm going to look at that as or take that as that's the projection that we all probably should be on, as far as like these nations, countries, having national pride and country pride, even though it's ran by all the same dictators. You know what I mean? It's.
What's that?
Yeah. No. Well, there's another person that I want to speak with here. He's not here, so so we're going to continue this conversation at a later date, because he is from another ethnicity, and there's going to be multiple people from different ethnicities with maybe similar or different views, but we just want to broaden everybody's awareness of it.
That'd be really interesting.
Yeah, because he wanted to speak on it. He just
time. It's hard for all of us to like. Yeah, it's hard for all of our schedules to align.
Correct.
But I guess we'll have to conclude this some other time. For now, I guess we'll sign off.
Yes, sir.
This is Urban Amp. Peace out.
Niijii. Take care.